In this video, we're going to look at growth and decay. So let's go through some keywords related to this topic. Okay, when we're talking about growth, we're normally thinking about increase. Okay, you can see those questions very often in the context of compound interest, saving accounts, loans, or for example, the growth of bacteria. Okay, so when you see these phrases in some questions, you need to be thinking about growth. Okay, when it comes to decay, okay, we normally think about decrease. Okay, depreciation, so this is when the value goes down, or for example leaks. Now, when it comes to the formula for working out growth and decay, it's quite straightforward, okay, and it looks like this. So to work out the final amount, you need to multiply the starting amount by the multiplier to the power of n, okay, when n is the number of times the change is made. And I understand that this may sound a little bit vague at the moment, but we're going to look at how it works in a second. So I would like us to go through some keywords, again, specifically focus on compound interest. Okay, compound interest is when the interest that you earn each year is added to your principal, and principal is the original amount. So let's say I start off with a let's say £1,000. I have £1,000 in the in my account, and then after 1 year, okay, I earn 100, okay, £100 interest. Okay, now if I want to then work out how much I'll get after the second year, now my amount is not £1,000 anymore, it will be 1,100. Okay, so then when I want to calculate the interest that I earn, I have to calculate it based on my new amount. So the interest has been added to my original amount. Okay, and then if I want to do it for the third year, then I have to again add the interest from the second year, and so on. It's all going to be a little bit clearer, and we can actually do it quicker. We don't have to calculate the amount after each year to get to the final amount. Now, also, I would like us to look at how to work out multipliers. Okay, when we're talking about growth, okay, I would like you to think about the original amount as 100%. And then, because we're talking about growth, the value needs to go up. So you add it, you add the rate of change to 100%. So for example, if the rate of change is 5%, okay, then you have to do 100% because that was the original amount, and then add 5%, and that is 105%. Okay, then you have to divide it by 100 to turn it into a decimal. Okay, because the multiplier should be a decimal, so the multiplier in this case will be 1.05. When we're talking about decay, okay, then the value needs to go down. So this time I'll have to take away the rate of change from 100%. So if, for example, the rate of change is 3%, okay, then I have to do 100%, take away 3%, and that is 97%. Okay, and then divided by 100, which is 0.97, to express it as a multiplier, as a decimal. Okay, so that's it, and we need to know how to do this, how to find those multipliers for us to be able to use. Paul leaves £4,000 in the bank for 2 years. It earns compound interest of 5% per year. Calculate the total amount Paul has in the bank at the end of the 2 years. Okay, so first I would like us to work out the starting amount. Okay, so the starting amount is £4,000. Okay, then we need the multiplier. Okay, the rate of change, okay, is 5%. Okay, So because we're talking about compound interest, the value is going to go up. So you can imagine putting some money into a bank account, okay, a saving account, and then at the end of some period, you actually will have more money that you put in. So we need to add the rate of change to 100%. So it's 100% plus 5%, just like we did a moment ago in our example, and that is 105%, which is 1.05 as a decimal, and this is our multiplier. And final thing that we need to work out, what n is. Well, n is the number of times the change happens, okay? Now, the money has been put into this account for 2 years, okay? So that means that the change will happen twice, okay? So that's 2. Now, I've got all the information now, and I can just put it into the formula, okay? So the starting amount, okay, in the formula, you can see that to work out the final amount, okay, I need to times the starting amount, okay, and the starting amount is £4,000. I need to times it by the multiplier. We've worked out the multiplier, and then raise it to the power of n, and the value of n is 2. Okay, now you just use the calculator, okay, to work it out, and the answer is 4,410, and that's the answer. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Something very similar. Okay, so Sam invests £1,800 in the bank for 4 years. It earns compound interest of 4% each year. Calculate the total amount Sam has in the bank at the end of the 4 years. So again, the starting amount, okay, is 1,800. Okay, the multiplier, okay, so the rate of change, okay, the percentage here is 4%, so I need to add it to 100%, okay, because that's going to be on top of the starting amount. So that's 104%, and that is 1.04 as a decimal, okay. And the final thing, the value of n. Now it's been left for 4 years, so that the value of n is 4. And now to work out the final amount, okay, final amount, I need to times the starting amount, so that's 1,800 by the multiplier 1.04 to the power of n, which is 4. You put this into a calculator and you get 2,105.74548. Now, because we're talking about money, okay, your answer needs to be rounded to 2 decimal places. So this is not quite your final answer. Your final answer should be 2,105.75. Okay, so this is your final answer, because your answer needs to be given to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's have a look at another. Okay, a car was bought for £20,000 and its value depreciates by 31% each year for the first 4 years. Okay, now what is the value of the car at the end of the 4 years? Okay, now we have the keyword here, depreciates. Okay, you can imagine then when you buy a car, after a few years the value of the car will be less than what you bought it for. Okay, so again we need to just clarify certain things. So the starting amount is £20,000. Okay, now the multiplier, okay, we need to find the multiplier. Remember that the value depreciates, okay, the value goes down. So if 100% was the value of the car at the start, then I need to take away 31%, okay, and that is 69%. That's as a percentage, and I need to divide it by 100 to turn it into a decimal. That is 0.69. Okay, so this is my multiplier. And final thing, n. Now, we're talking about 4 years here. Okay, so n is equal to 4. And now to work out the final amount. Okay, so this is the value of the car after 4 years. So the starting amount is 20,000, and I times it by the multiplier, which is 0.69 to the power of n, which is 4. Okay, you put this into a calculator and you get 4,533.4242. Again, because we're talking about money, your answer needs to be rounded to 2 decimal places. So that's 4,533.42. Okay, so that's the final answer. A full water tank holds 500 litres. The tank begins to leak water and is losing 14% of its contents every hour. Find out how much water is left in the tank after 8 hours. Okay, so the starting amount is 500 litres. Okay, this is how much water there is at the start. The multiplier. Now the tank leaks, okay, so it's losing water, so the value needs to go down. So if 100% is how much water there was at the start, I need to now take away the 14%, okay? So now 100% take away 14%, that is 86%, and I want to divide it by 100 to turn it into a decimal, which is 0.86. And one more thing, the value of n, okay, because we're talking about 8 hours, okay, then n is 8. And notice that it's not always years. It could be hours, it could be days. For example, if we're talking about bacteria multiplying, okay, we can be talking about days. Okay, so always check what that period, time period is. Okay, and now we just put it into our formula, okay. So to work out the final amount, okay, we need the starting amount, which is 500, times it by the multiplier, which is 0.86, to the power of n, which is 8. Put this into a calculator and you get 149.6089 and so on. Now, my advice would be write all the numbers, all the digits from your calculator display, and then, for example, round your answer. So I could say it's going to be 150 liters. Okay, that is to the nearest liter. Okay, and that's it.